Dunkel has got out with a bit to do. Majestic Style at the 200 from hard to cross. Now Dunkel is out. Dunkel sprouting wings. Dunkel from last over the top. It's home. Dunkel takes it up, races away a soft win in the end.
Welcome to Bet Doctor Behind the Curtain. Look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. We're back. It's 2023. I'm Big Kev excited. John Walter, welcome back. How's your holiday?
What's this holiday?
Hey? Holiday
What's this
from
holiday?
Me. You've had a holiday from me?
Holiday from you. Not really. Not really. You still message it every day. There's no holidays in New South Wales, mate. North Korea, we don't do it. We don't do holidays.
Live in Queensland, though.
We don't do holidays, and you're coming around. You're coming around. DK's probably had like 4 or 5 weeks off. You know, it's the sort of bloke that he is. But you know, we just battle on in North Korea.
Pat Malone, DK's on long service leave. He's the Lone Ranger out of Melbourne. Nico's on a little romantic tour around Tasmania. I tell you what, he just popped into Devonport for a sting there and got one home yesterday. But DK, what's going on? Long service leave. You're in office. You're still on Bet Doctor, but the service, you've put it to bed.
Put it to bed, Scooty. Yes. Well, hi, Scoot. Hi, what? Happy New Year, and everyone who's watches. I'll put it. I'm a little bit of holiday, mate, but long service for Put it on ice, Scoot. In all honesty, it's a bit of a weight lifted off the shoulders, really, but feel a bit better for it, even though got some lovely messages and a lot of people wanted me to keep going. And as I've always rapped on the show, they're a very loyal bunch of subs, and especially those players because they just stick through thick and thin, not the ones who drop on and off all the time. But the ones who stuck through thick and thin all the way with me it was a tough decision. Nearly got me going again, all their messages to keep going. But anyway, done it. And anyway, we'll move on and we'll try and maybe find winners on the show or do something. But thought I'd stick around, still enjoy doing the show, Scoot, and seeing you guys once a week and Walt and whatnot. So on we go again in 2023.
Absolutely slaughtered them in 2021. And then, the market's sort of changing and it just keeps evolving. So 2022, a little bit tougher for you, but it could have been a lot worse, that's for sure. But
chopped out in the end, mate. Even just watching things for myself now, and they're just going off so quick. And, you know, the way I had it with a 10-minute warning and things and trying to pick a market, and it's just it was just all getting a bit too hard for me, mate. So anyway, we'll whack on.
Problem is, it's just less bets, and it's just really hard to turn over huge volumes of money. So you have to really pick the eyes out of them. DK's also refused to come up the Gold Coast Magic Millions week. What
does it matter to me? Every time he comes up here, he ducks and weaves me and dodges me anyway. So what does it matter to me?
Well, if you weren't a teetotaler, I might have come up. But what's the point? Coming up and watch you drink lime cordial the whole time, okay. Not getting you out to the Bondi. But what's that pavilion joint, Scoot, and all that business? So no, we're the Kellys are on the cruise. We're the old Griswolds we're going on the cruise ship next week. So out to the South Pacific and all that. So the kids can't wait. They're going bouncing off the walls, getting ready for that. So looking forward to it.
I'll be disappointed if you don't jump into the belly flop competition, DK.
Yes.
I think Britt Taylor from WA, I saw her. I think she posted one up and had a bloke $1.50. It was a bit bigger than you, but I think he won convincingly. So DK, I'd be really disappointed if you can't pull that one off and you just lift after a couple of tequilas.
Well, I got the title. Like when I was on there, you knew that last time, didn't you, Scoop?
Oh, 100%. You need to defend it.
2017, the missus was showing the video to the kids, and I actually was going through a few old Coles. I found the old orange board shorts I wore for that one the other day. So she said, "You better pack them." And after a few bloody pina coladas, I might try and defend my title.
Mate,
not about title out. Those ships have got 5,000 people on them, and it's a prestigious thing to win the belly flop competition.
Can't believe you've sacked your sub. That's how you should promote the next DK at Live. But anyway, it's been a big week. Magic Millions. It's horses in canals. They got loose down at the beach there. They've been roaming around Surfers Paradise for a week. Are the sales even on?
Tegan fell off both of them. She came off the one that went in the canal. She went off the one that went up Cavill Avenue. She's had a big week, Teague, and rode the winner. She's had a big week.
She needs those special stirrups, those little rubber band stirrups that you use.
How did those horses not get hurt? What a bloody absolute miracle.
Will that be the end of the beach race?
I don't think they'll run 22 next year. Like, what the hell are they trying to do? Run 22 horses down the beach? Like, it used to, remember it started out, it was like 3 or 4 or something. Yeah. And I was like, what? And they said 3 fell off. I'm like, what, the whole field? And then they said, 22 ran down the bloody.
You can't even run 22 round.
And you got the inside and outside gate media on one side and the public people on the other side. Like, Jesus. It is the Gold Coast, but even that's a bloody.
It is pretty lax up here, I tell you what. Obviously, I'm from Melbourne, made the transition, and there's less cops on the road, touch wood. There's Run
One of
your
us
own
will be
rules
locked
up
up by
here.
the end of the day. Now you've said that. Thanks.
Hopefully. All right, it's been a bit of a debacle this summer. We threw a little poll out to our Twitter fans. Biggest debacle in horse racing over summer, and then if you've missed one, list below. So New South Wales barriers not opening. That one just went straight through the keeper. Only 10% of the vote there. I thought that was probably. I can't believe punters just didn't get refunded on that one. Gilgandra Cup distance change. Went from like a 1,600 metre event to, was it 12 or 1,300 metres or 1,280 or something crazy?
Yeah, it was 1280, so it was a mile back, so 320 back. And yeah, 2 races before. They did a vote, I think, they consulted the runners in the race. I think that 2 of the 3 favourites were going up from like 1,300 to a mile and never won past 1,300. So we wonder which way they voted, and the poor old punters had
Shafted
no choice.
again?
Well, they don't get a vote, you know. Apart from, you know, old mate Big Richie came and said, I'll be batting for the punters here. I'm going into bat for the punters. This can't happen. 5 minutes later, the right decision's been made here. The right decision. I'm like,
just an absolute shafting.
Right.
At least if you had I think there was a Mick Kent horse or something, and it can absolutely walk in at Werribee, but the barriers got stuck. I think they went through 2 tractors and they couldn't get the barriers out of the way quick enough. So that was as the biggest debacle.
Another one that was lucky because it was right on a bend too. Like that could have been very, very ugly.
Could have been a car crash. And then the horse in the Gold Coast Canal. But a couple other ones that the punters sent in that weren't on the poll. Walt in the bath watching Mug on the Wolf Den stream. Bookies still using their own deductions, so that's a little bit of a red alert. So all the PRAs
What's happening there?
Well, it sounds like
It's not in Victoria. Must be the other joints just running rogue again still.
Well,
Well,
I sent an email into the tab there the other day. So that Coffs Harbour meeting from last Sunday, I think it was like 2 cents one, 8 cents another. Like 2 cents at one joint, 8 cents another, and there was 2 deductions in one that wasn't even a deduction in the other. They're just, yeah.
Well, wouldn't they just copy the Victorian model now? Like, seriously, it's so simple and it's all uniform, it's official. I mean, I went and had a look at the Racing Victoria website today and you go to the wagering, then deductions. They've even got a video there, explaining what a bane it was. It was called Deductions Lottery, their words, and that and then down below, they've got the tables, and even Sportsbet's got its own table, a pair of Sportsbet. So there's the deductions for scratchings in the emergencies in the field and for emergencies not in the field. And then the deductions just go straight in there, and every bookies can only put in a lower deduction than that. Otherwise, and then you can blue and they get penalised if they do. So I don't know why now it's been going nearly 6 months or 12 months, not a problem.
I think we should all just set up a direct debit to Sportsbet every week. Just send them 300. Just don't even have a bet. Just send them 300 and just be done with it or something. Maybe they'll be happy with that.
The power of Sportsbet, I thought they were going to make them go up like the same price as every other bookie, and they said, no, we're going to keep putting deductions for emergencies. And I said, well, because you're so big, we'll create you your own table then.
I think it's still one of the biggest, most disgusting things that Sportsbet can go and have a different set of prices and price them all in.
It's a joke.
It's an embarrassment on the industry.
They think everyone thinks they're getting a better price. Oh, it's $5 at Sportsbet and $4 everywhere else. Where that's just
blind robbing punters.
The thing, and that's it. And the problem is, like, I hate to agree with the great man PVL too often, but saying people aren't price sensitive, they don't know. 99% of people are, and they don't. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be on their side and trying to help them. At least give them a fair chance. It's which is not what's happening at the moment.
The other debacles over summer is the ambulance stuck at Hawkesbury. I said New South Wales do have this ambulance problem. They just don't. They need their own ambulance or something like that. Every couple of days in my one of my lads' chat groups, there's always this Barney about the races being delayed, about New South Wales. It's a circus there, so that's something else that
I don't know what an ambulance costs. What, $500,000? Like, okay, so instead of the chicken race being worth $3 million next year, just keep it at 2, and we've got 2 ambulances.
I would have thought so. The Perth Cup fiasco also a bit of a drama there, and then raising the weights after final field was another one. By I think the 94 raters all got bumped up 1.5 kilos, or someone tweeted that in. So interesting there, and that's on again this weekend. Moving along, we're on the clock here.
Yeah,
on the clock here, but I was say never a dull moment. I mean, that's my thing about racing. Never a dull moment. Scoot's just gone through about 10 things that have happened since the last show, which was only a month ago or something. So, and nothing like the boring narrative, blah blah blah. This is one of the reasons we're in the caper. Never a dull moment.
Never dull. The barriers was the worst for me, just because it took 2 days for the stewards report to come out, or a day and a half, whatever it was. It was like, none of the riders brought it to our attention, but we looked at it prior to clearing it. It was just,
it's disgusting.
It was so hard to believe. It was something that needed to be like someone physically come out publicly and explain what happened. And it was just like it never happened. Then it happened 2 days later again, and the same thing happened in the stewards report. Again, never mentioned.
But how do punters not get their money back? They should all be deemed a non-starter.
Yeah, Yeah, it didn't open. We agree with that. But because the horse's racing pattern was established and we don't think it would have ended up in a different position or a position, strong enough to make it place better or whatever, however they worded it. Yeah.
It's just so money hungry from Racing New South Wales. It's absolutely disgusting. And there's a video out there. There's an interview with Peter V'landys, and I think the guy's Mark Burris or something like that. And Peter V'landys knows that the storm's coming, and other PRAs would know too. And I think this will be the first year that Peter V'landys has probably tightened the belt a bit and not gone on a massive rampage. I think we've been talking about it for a while, but the pains are coming, and I'm tipping we're going to see some real post-COVID blues with some of this prize money.
They're going to try and jack the tax to try and compensate for the lack of turnover, which is really going to end up, that's a great idea. I think that's a brilliant idea. It should work out well for everyone, that one.
So it's just less bets, but try and be a little bit more accurate. Speaking of accurate, Magic Millions, McMillions stream this Saturday. It's the Gold Coast. And
did you know there was a stream on DK? I wasn't aware, mate. Are you in it?
Brushed. Been brushed. You've retired.
I know. Well, I've got I had so much influence on the last Magic Millions stream, didn't I?
Mate, was that when we were on the deck?
No, that was a year. That was
the
year
time before. Oh, the deck was
the deck.
The deck was the best.
The deck. You blew on never even lobbed last year. You were blowing about that.
I tell you what, I've just found my T-shirt. I might wear it. Tommy found me at the Chinese restaurant about 8 o'clock at night. Remember?
Mate, I don't see it. I didn't even remember last year because you weren't there.
Okay, so this Saturday from midday, Flemington have decided to put the races on, I think, about 10:45 or 10:30 in the morning. So we might have to
that's right, yeah,
push some bets through early. It'll all be via the Little Birdie app. So make sure you go to the App Store, Little Birdie, and then you can get it for Apple or Android. And then so it's just Mac, but they're going to control the bank. They're only battling TopSport, so they can get the bets on there. So it's Johnny McLeod, Brad McLeod, Tommy Henjak, Turbo Tommy, Jake Fleming, and Robert Todd. So it'll be entertaining, no doubt, on Saturday, and we'll give Tommy Turbo a little bit of stick later on when he joins the show. But you might have just noticed that little graphic on screen there. We've got a new sponsor, the Comics Lounge, have jumped on board, Melbourne's home of comedy. They're located in Errol Street in North Melbourne.
I thought it was comics. I was getting excited. I thought it was collectibles.
No, funny.
I was getting excited. We don't do funny on this show.
You're funny.
No, I need to look at.
But just don't try and be funny. Josh Wolf is out from the USA, so if you want to go see him, January 21st, I've got no idea who he is, but apparently he's very, very good. So make sure you support the Comics Lounge. They got stuff going on all the time, and the Comedy Fest is one of the best things about Melbourne, when the whole city's just overrun by all these comedians, and you're mad not to go try some out, but the Comics Lounge is sort of your bread and butter.
You've gone wide there. Go to the Comics Lounge.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Chattering teeth. I get it now. I can see what the logo is now. Good.
Yeah. You're okay with that?
I'm all right with it now.
Yep. Yeah. Beautiful.
I thought it was a bowl of cereal the first time I looked at it. I thought that's an interesting one.
Today's show is going to be a beauty. As I said, we'll try and get through it quickly. Don is good. He's back on board for 2023. He's been firing darts in a new syndicate, so there's a couple of us joined a little bit of syndicate. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but he's been hunting far and wide. He's got a couple for us this weekend. He's excited. He's out there, Gold Coast Magic Millions. I couldn't think of anything worse than going out to the races, but he's chomping at the bit. Donny, so he's seen them quite well.
He really wasn't he? Like he was going on with it too. Like he could be at the gates now waiting to get the front table.
Yeah, absolutely. Rosehill for you, Walt, and Tommy Turbo's going to join us to talk about the stream, talk about the Magic Millions 2-year-old and 3-year-old, accountant turned punter. I wonder how that's all going for him. I wonder if he regrets that decision or not. But I guess he's sort of like the Daniel son of the Karate Kid. You can always go
back to accountancy. Like, it's not going anywhere, is it? Everyone's vanilla, the tax man and the bills, they're all still going to keep coming. So you can always go back.
TopSport team, let's see what they're backing in the early markets. And as I said, Nico Noonan's in Tassie with the bride. So I'm going to have a look at the Standish. I'm going to dust myself off, a bit rusty. Starting to do a little bit more form, and definitely enjoying it at the moment. Finding the odd winner, but Nico...
You'd like to know that he hasn't changed in 2023, DK. He sends me through, mate, here's the tips today. If he wants any multi-fillers after the 5-unit play had already won.
After?
And he's after. You did the big highlight, the 5-unit play had already lobbed at $2.60, but...
people get a bit sensitive knocking off prices, and you're not let...
People get a bit sensitive the after the ball tips too. You worry about me? No one ever worries about Walt. Poor Walt.
Poor Walt left out again.
The 5-unit play at on the synthetic track, I would have been right into that. Maximum pain.
Nico is just trying to give me a heart attack before the stream. It's not my go to Peter betting, especially when it's a max play before 1 o'clock. I haven't even had my lunch.
Have you got Gando? Did you add Gando in?
Gando and Kyrgios, how good.
Yeah.
How good.
He's the king of the Tapita. That's his one claim to fame. But he's the maddest Djokovic fan you've ever seen. I've had some like 2-3 hour Twitter wars with Gando over Djokovic. So he's just chimed in pretty innocently. I don't think he was even trying to have a go. And old mate's just giving him the off the top rope, off the top belt buckle, and just slammed him. It was awesome. Poor old Gando.
That was very funny.
Hard to beat. I love Kyrgios and I love Djokovic too. Absolute superstars.
I love Gando, so we're all equal here.
Just a lover fest. Love on. TopSport, speaking of love, family owned, operated, Australian owned. So make sure you check out their new app and mobile site. If you're into same race multis, they've got them too. So download their new app and give it a spin. And it's a crucial part of getting on the stream. So you deposit cash with them, you download our app, and then you sit back and let the MacBet boys go bananas. So big thanks to TopSport. I think we're in season 4 a Bet Doctor. Crazy, isn't it?
Do you reckon it's too late for me to apply for a spot in the Wolf Den team this weekend?
No?
No. Okay, I might send. I'm going to fire an email in.
Can you
just
be
so
on
I can feel a part of Magic Millions?
Can you be on both teams? Could you tip for one and lay on the other?
No, I would. Oh, geez, I'm not going to. I'm not actually like. I know I can't be a part of one team, but the DK and I might get a job there. Out wide.
I'd be disappointed.
Packing of maidens and
I'm in a
packing of maiden the first 2-year-old tonight. DK, if the instructor doesn't win, I'm in the bin.
That's the 1,000-metre race. 1,000 metres?
The little 2-year-old race, yeah.
It's big there. They've got those $75,000 two races with the big 300,000 bonuses, and that all kick off tonight. So everyone's trying for their life there in those things.
Grouse. That's what we love, trying for life. And we like it hot, dry and fast, and that's what Flemington will be on Saturday. Nico's on just a little bit of he's on a bit of a leave of absence as well. So he's doing some work on 9 to 7 in January. So you can tune in there if you want some of his yard insights there. He's going to be back on his Telegram service from February. So he's having a little bit of a freshen up and a bit of a change of scene. And as I said, he's joined part of our Little Birdie syndicate. So there's a graphic up on screen now. And we've got myself, Donnie, and Shane Adair, and we've only started for since January, I think the 3rd. So in the last 9 days, I think we're up about 7 or 8 units or something in the last 10 days. So we're betting at bloody Taree, Devonport, Gold Coast.
That's the go. Out wide, all plays the same.
We're everywhere, DK, and we're copping bad rides. We're copping some good rides. We're copping Carleen yesterday. Didn't want to lead. It's good fun at the moment, and even Oakbank, Shane Adair's been playing around at Oakbank and Gawler, and everyone's on the board, everyone's having wins, and things are going good. But we're trying to wait as late as we can, and as I can just see from the market, the way it moves at the moment is just crazy. So I think we've got the right format in terms of 4 blokes looking at all over the place, and I guess we're turning over a bit more than I thought initially, being off season. Because we're just spread out across the joint, it just gives you so.
You've got Donnie there. He's looking at more than 4 places by himself. He's looking at 44. So.
Good, but as you said, so good time of year to turn over money out wide, dry tracks and hot, warm weather, and lots of meetings on, because compared to the depths of Shitsville in the middle of winter.
It's going to be pretty hot and dry, and as I said, 10:30 the start at Flemington. Let's have a look at race 2. There's a nice little horse here, and I'm interested to see what DK thinks
it's still
of
in
this
work,
one.
this thing. Wow.
Yeah, and Dunkill's a favourite.
Not so much that it's over the top, more that it's you think you'd be getting it ready for the autumn or something pretty exciting.
Well. Dunkill, $1.85 in from $1.95. Sold choice $6.50. Hard to cross $8.50. Konkotsunotsu.
Kokonotsu.
That'll do. $10. Barefoot Tara $11. Midnight Glow $13. Speak Easy $17. And Paleface from DK's favourite camp, Bussett and Young $20. And I won't worry about the rest.
Yes, I know every one of these. These are all maiden winners and everything, recent form, everything.
That's why I picked the race, just to try and bring you to the show. Dunkill, red and black, he's last here. It was an interesting win. He got himself in a really sticky position here, and he did well to really charge once he saw some clear air. Big, white, baldy face, as you can see on the replay. And what interests me here too, I sort of spoke to Nico off air about him not coming on the show and what he was doing down in Tassie, but he actually thought that, I thought, that might be the end of this horse and we might see him in the paddock, similar to what Walt just said. But Nico said from the yard he'd improved from the run and he needed it under his belt, which I thought was interesting. And now stepping up to 2,000 at Flemington looks good for this horse for me, but 61 kilos, that was the concern. And is there anything, DK? Most of his competition here is coming out of maidens.
Yeah, they are, yeah. So we know this. I mean, everyone said as soon as we saw this horse was going to say that Flemington was going to be right up his alley. He's a proper horse. This horse, I don't know what his ceiling is, but it's going to be big. But he's what he is. He's super strong. So just there, he got out, I think, with 300 to go, and he's just reeled off a much better last furlong than anything else in the race, and that's what he'll do here. But the problem with him is that he's an average beginner, and he has been in all his 3 starts. And if you're going to take the evens or whatever it is here, it's what does Walt say? Balls of steel, stuff like that, or maximum pain, because he's going to be 3 back the fence, maybe 4 back the fence. So big, beautiful Flemington straight. He's going to have to gradually ease out, and if he's out with 300 to go, then he's going to round him up. But you just hope he gets clear. Few of them, a couple of nice horses. If he, as I said, he could be. He's going to be. We called him top shelf. I saw him. His Moonee Valley Maiden win is as good as any maiden goes that I see and I rate. As good as anything goes. It was just a massive win of above benchmark, of above stakes class horse really.
And weird. That's another it was a heavy track, wasn't it? A heavy track mile first start in a race.
It was heavy track mile. And that's the key, heavy track mile.
And when was it? It's got to be 3 months ago. As
Scoot was saying that Nico said he'd improve off the yard last day. He freshened him up into that last one.
It was the 28th of October, but P. Payne does some weird things, doesn't he?
If of any horse in the country, I would like to speak to Payne and ask what his actual plan is here, because what Nico's saying might be right. He might just have decided that the horse is sort of immature and that he's strengthening every run, and that he's better off racing him sparingly through this period and trying to run him through the grades now than put him in the paddock. I'm assuming he's no deal, is he? P. Payne, P.
Payne, and he underplays them. So he was 44 days into the other day, 44 days. So he had to freshen up so he was out of the walk and trot at Cranbourne. So he didn't need a break. He would have just come out of it like a barrier trial. But he gave him 44 days. And then he's into the other day, and Nico said, so he obviously backed off him, but he's going to improve off that run. So I'd say he's just educating. He likes taking them along, so he likes educating them.
Yeah, he probably gives him 7 days, in the paddock or something, back at home, between runs or something. He's probably just trying to, give him a grounding that way. It's an interesting horse. It's in a strange preparation. It's
strange, but he's
for such a talented horse. Yeah.
Sorry, Scoot. Just quickly on that other one in the race. Sole Choice didn't run any time at Terang. It's one of Gaze. It'll roll along out in front. So, and then I think the Besuston horse will probably roll along a bit too. It rolled along sort of on pace at Yarra Glen. So hopefully there's a bit of tempo. They're strong one paces. Gaze horses like to roll along in front, set some sort of tempo. So that, again, hopefully that'll help Dunkel. The other one I'd be interested in there is Kokonotsu. It's another one Nico's been a huge rap for out of the yard all the way through his prep. I had something on him on that basis the other day. I said, Nico's been rapping this horse, and just got beat by a bloody Peter Moody thing, but apparently the Moody thing's got a huge rap on it. So it's got blinkers, and she'll get a really lovely run. So that's about it, Scooty.
I can just see every punter on the planet just putting that horse into Maltese Dunkel, so it'll...
Yeah, for the Payne League. I love it. 3 back the fence.
61 kilos.
Stacks them
fence.
up.
Yeah.
Maximum pain. So he might, he's just got to learn get out of the gates a bit quicker, but that might be one of the reasons why he keeps racing him at the moment.
When I saw him, I was thinking, okay, let's find a reason to lay him. But all of a sudden, Nico's comments just were alarm bells there. So maybe I've gone from wanting to lay to now wanting to back. So who knows? We'll see what happens, but very exciting horse. Race 6 is the Standish at Flemington. Indian Pacific is favourite here, $6. Rose Court, $6. Vespertine, $6.50. Snapper, $7.50. Western Empire, $8. Dawn Passage, $8. Halvorsen, $9.50. Umgawa is $10. And then you got horses like Regards Marie, $16. Parsifal is back from the abyss, $18. Crestani, $21. And Ocean Beyond, $41. This is a bit of a raffle here, but 2 horses I didn't mind the look of were Vespertine. I think we're going to get the replay up here, and probably this is a race over carnival time. I think it was on Oaks Day or the one of the last days there, and I just like the way she sort of rounded up the field here, and it's a similar class that she faces here today. Beggy's kept a very fresh for this, but gets different circumstances. So now will be barrier 1, so she'll have to be coming on the inside of the pack. Be interesting to see which is the best part of the track. Obviously, it's going to be super, super quick and dry, I would have thought, at Flemington by that stage. And the second horse here that I thought might be the knockout, I think it's a pretty even race, so by no means I'm going to charge into any of these, but I didn't mind Umgawa coming back to 1,200 metres, and I also like the addition of blinkers for this horse as well with Ethan Brown, so it's going to be in barrier 3, so a couple of the chances that I think at odds would be Umgawa and Vespertine, but I'm happy to forgive that run of Umgawa. I just don't think 1,400's its go, and then I think it'd be much better off with blinkers. It also has been, I think it's 2 weeks between runs, so whether it races best fresh or not, that could be another story, but if they stick to 1,200, I think it's better than stretching that horse to 1,600 metres like they've done in the past, but I don't know if you've got any other thoughts on that one, DK, but it looks like an absolute raffle of a race.
Who's Jay Leake Jr. taking over this Western Empire? Is that...
Airborne.
Who's that? I'm not...
Johnny Leake, he's a wily old well, he's not that old, but he's Bob Peters had got the so he's all pear shaped with Danny O'Brien. So he was flying. He saw him with that grey horse. Was it Fingerada was winning those races? Was flying at the time.
Melby Cup
a while ago, and so Greg Peters, that's his name, isn't it? Greg Peters saw that and sent him. I don't know. Might have sent him 20 horses. John Leake Jr. So look out. Yeah, they've all been trialling up, and Jamie Mott's on him, and be interesting to see how he goes. But he's a great horseman. Was a great jumps trainer back in the day, and so it'd be very interesting to see. But Peters is pulling a rabbit out of the hat there.
The only thing I find harder than a straight race at Flemington is a straight race on a fast track at Flemington.
No, it's crazy. So you got a horse like Indian Pacific, it's suited, Rose Quartz.
At least in the spring they water it, or it's there's a bit of rain around and you can usually sort of think down the crown or whatever, but when they're fast, they're hard to work out where they're going to go.
100%. This is a real nightmare race. I can make a case for about 6 runners, but I thought in terms of value and
$6 a field,
horses there to win, I thought Vespertine and Halvorsen, if you must have a bet there, but it's a
Umgawa, you mean? Umgawa.
Umgawa and Vespertine, but it's a pretty low meeting, and I noticed the early markets picked off British Columbia, the horse that ran second actually, first up at Sandown last start. So 340 is a bit short. Hopefully it drifts back out, but it was the other horse probably of interest that Beggy's got. So it could be a good day for Beggy on Saturday. Make sure you check out puntingform.com.au, best form guide in the business. They've had a reskin, and if that's it's a bit too sharp on the eyes, you can go to old.puntingform.com.au, and that'll also work during the transition stage. So I've been chatting to the guys behind the scenes, and they've got some massive improvements on the horizon. So make sure you check out puntingform.com.au. It's an easy way to take the next step to becoming a more serious punter. Speaking of a more serious punter, we've got the 20
look at him, doesn't
the
he?
retired
Look
accountant. Huh?
Have a look at him.
Oh, he hasn't got the hoodie on. He's in summer mode. He's got the Adidas tee. He's got the sun shining on his face.
He could be Djokovic's little brother.
His cave's not dark enough for my liking. He needs more of a den. Too much light in there.
Actually, that could be his go. I could get him in the box in Djokovic's thing. He could play off as his little brother. He could pull a few Djokovic strays if he did that, I reckon.
Tommy, welcome to the show. And just a question straight off the bat, just to get you a little bit unrattled. I think Carly Electric sent it in, or this TNT punting sent it in and said there's these things called silkies, where there's these girls that chase jockeys. Silkies, they exist. There's these groupies that run around just chasing jockeys.
Yeah, could you imagine that, like someone like Tim Clark, he's a married man, but there's people that actually want to bone him? It's incredible, isn't it? Just because he's a jockey, like
so Tommy,
fat ass little friggin' midget. And
Tommy, you're a little racetrack rat. So do you go out with the jockeys afterwards, and do these silkies? Do you ever pick some off, some of the scraps that the jockeys leave behind, or are they after you as well? Do you pretend you're a jockey? You're not big.
I think most of the time some people mistake me for one. But yeah, it's not limited to just girls chasing the guys. I think it does work both ways. And I think it's just anyone that's attracted to, I think the proper definition is anyone that's attracted to anyone in the racing industry, whether it be the strappers, the track work riders, or the jockeys.
So you sitting next to Bernadette Cooper's car every afternoon after the race is not a coincidence, is what you're saying.
No, I think she's a bit too old for me, but she's actually in Emerald Kingdom too. So hopefully see her out and about after he gets the win there on Saturday.
Okay, so we're not going to cover the Emerald Kingdom race on the show, but this has been a bit of a shrewd buy from you and Mr. McLeod. It's going all right. What do you reckon? $3.90, you would knock the price off, $5 in?
Oh, no, I think he's a bit short now, and you are, we are half, like if you backed him early, you are half relying on the track to play
the same
as it
way.
did last week, because last week, if you watched any of the races, you kind of had to be in the first three pairs to win. It played very hard and fast, and I guess I've just assumed it's going to play the same way this week because there's been no rain, and hopefully they don't overwater it or anything like that.
I think Navesh has put about 32 mil on it, and hopefully, I think just hard fence might be off. And otherwise, hopefully, it just sort of evens out a bit. But it was a bit lightning quick. So fingers crossed, they can get a fair.
It's been
chuck.
a lot hotter and drier this week than it was last week too. So
like even if he puts a lot of water on it, it's gonna dry out pretty quick, I think. And I don't mind if it does play like that. You just, as a punter, you just want it to be able to expect what it's going to be able to do, not throw up curlies on the day. If that makes any sense.
Better than outside fence racing, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's have a look at the 2-year-old. Let's get down to business here. Empire Japan's favourite with TopSport, 420 out to 6 into 550. So there's a bit of action here. Sovereign Fund drawn the car park, $7.50 into $6. So a little bit of a clip there. This is the money horse. Skirt the Law, 13 into $7. Platinum Jubilee, 9. Infatuation, 13. Empress of Wonder, $13. For Chad, Royal Entrance, 14 on the back up there. Fire Lane, $17. Croatian Bell, 19 into $17. Mooney Valley horse, undefeated. So interesting there. I think Donnie sort of half found that horse. Summer Lovin' is $19. Tristan's got a little bit of a share in that, so good luck to the Merlin camp there. Miss Cooter, $19. Sun Source, DK's favourite camp, $21. Godfather, I think Donnie tipped on the show once, $21. And then you're right out the gate with the rest of the chances. But the replay that Mr. Henjak's asked us to look at here is Skirt the Law. So she just pings straight on the bunny. She's in the pink and white and does it pretty softly. Tommy, I know she's got some early speed, but she isn't beating much here, is she?
No, she hasn't beat much, but I really I've seen her in the yard at both starts now, and I like the improvement she's taken both times. She's very professional. They've actually sent her to the trials in between runs, and I like that they took a sit in the trials. They gave her a little bit of education, sat her behind her horse, and she found the line really well. She was actually entered to run last week in the Jewel, I think it was, and they scratched her, but there was nothing going on there. They just didn't want to give her a gut buster from the wide gate a week before grand final day. I really like the main reason that I'm tipping her is because I don't think there's a whole lot or there's a real standout horse in the field. I just think she's going to get the right run in behind the speed, especially with the way the track played last week. There looks good speed on paper. Platinum Jubilee, Royal Entrance, Fire Lane, XL Dior, and Miss Cooter from 18. The connections weren't happy with how Willow rode it last time, and it'll be handlebars down from Huxtable this time. So there's going to be good speed. I think you're going to want a horse that's just going to camp in behind them, and I think Skirt the Law is going to be the one that's going to be strong late over a pretty testing 1,200 for the 2-year-olds.
I see Johnny Walter just absolutely starting to bubble and boil.
I've just got a question, right? I've got a bag full of tickets for Platinum Jubilee, and I'm worried the tab down here is not going to have enough cash to pay me. So if I give you them today to just collect for me on track, is that okay? Is that okay?
What did you think of last start for Platinum Jubilee?
It's just having a barrier trial. The fence was completely cast, and it was ridden out of its pattern. And I just think if it doesn't win, if Reggie doesn't fall off it and it heads down the canal or down the beach or down to have a hamburger at Grilled there on Cavill Avenue or something, it's dead set. It's race over.
Didn't you tip Russian Conquest and declare it?
I didn't declare it unbeatable. That was the year Coolangatta and it got it beat ahead. Like we were.
Have you got over that yet?
Yeah, absolutely. That was 663,000 bad beats ago, and it wasn't even a bad beat. But I just no. My actual thinking, without being an imbecile, which is what I am, like Skirt the Law is interesting because at least it's won over 1,200, but it's beat 2 5-horse fields, which is what I don't like. 42 days I don't like. I do like the 12 100 win, as I said. But going through this field, there's just nothing in it. Sovereign Fun's beaten a 4-horse field. The race at Wyong, it was in the right part of the track, beat Quasimodo that couldn't beat the tractor home last week. Bussin and Young, no. Empire of Japan, Howard's favourite over Platinum Jubilee. Like, it was in the right part of the track the other day and couldn't go. I think it needs like a Tsunami or Navesh to leave the things on for it to win. Royal Entrance, it ran against me last week. Godfathers should be living in Dobbiny's backyard after it won at $1.50 in a one-goer race. It's a camel. Christ is a camel. Infatuation is an absolute tractor-pulling camel. Fire Lane beat us last start, but it was hard fit. It's dangerous, but, J Ford and 15, it's probably going to be in the canal. As I said, Platinum Jubilees it's won a 14-horse race from back in the field, strong through the line on heavy track. I think it'll improve out of sight. Gaze, absolutely wanting to win this race. She hasn't won it for a while, so it's the one for me. And then, I'm not even going to bother going through the bottom. Summer Loving is interesting with the blinkers. I think it's one horse that will appreciate a fast tempo, big field. It could jump out of the ground too. I think they're the two. And I'm not knocking Cert the Law too much because of the 1,200 metre form that it's got that not many in the race do have. But it's quite short for me. I just can't believe this horse is $9. I honestly can't. I can't
well,
understand
Tristan's
how
just
it's not
drifted it.
favourite.
He's obviously just got the inside thing, and he's just gone 9 to 950 just to tease you.
Tristan will be getting the max. Tristan will be getting the max bet. Tristan will be getting the max bet button. That's it. What is that the other day? Pickle bet. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Balance. The balance button. Balance. I'm just going to keep pressing the balance button. I will be moving in with Tommy and starting my accountancy degree on Monday if this horse gets beat.
What about you haven't mentioned Empress of Wonder?
That's
Have you seen
Scooty's
this
horse.
Yeah, you can
Scooty's
spit
horse.
through it. It is a dead set pony. There's if Tommy sat on this horse, he'd feet both on the ground.
That's it. I think
tooth-
it'll get to good odds, this horse. I think it's a little bit underrated. Obviously, it's only got the 1,000 metre form, but it does look like a little pocket rocket. And but as you said, like, it probably does need a little bit of rain and some Navesh magic. But if it gets out to big odds, it's probably one that I won't be losing on because I do think it has some ability.
If you get one of those, where they pay down to 12th and you get your money back, I'd have the $50 on it. No,
I think it's
not
a
for me.
knockout.
I don't think it'll run 1,200. Not this prep. It's too small.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that this horse is not going to run 1,200 metres. I just like the way that I loved its last start, actually. Chad, I just don't want Chad to get too far back on this horse. If he can find the back,
It'll be last.
Well, I don't want him to do that.
That's where it'll be.
Well, I don't want that to
It
happen.
was 16th down the straight in a field of 16. It was 9th out of 10 in an Eagle Farm
Yeah, but he didn't need to
race.
be there.
And
He
it's
didn't
now
need to
drawn
be there.
16
He was
around.
dead last start.
It was dead as
If this
a
horse
doornail last
if
start.
it goes forward, it'll get beat 550 metres.
No, I think he could find a spot midfield. Like, there's going to be a few across the track here. He might be able to find the back of one, but you're right. He probably can't go back to last and win. So it will need a good ride.
I like the fact that a couple of these chances that I see Royal Entrance out there. I see
The scary horses are the Melbourne horses and the ones that
Empire
fluffy.
Japan, Sovereign Fund. They're all out there. So I actually think that plays into the hands of Chad. If he's not too negative, I think that could be a knockout runner. And I'm a bit like Walt. There's a lot of horses here that just are not going to run 1,200 metres. And one thing that I'm confident, especially off Platinum Jubilee, will definitely be strong. And then Tristan's horse, Summer Love, and I think it's going to run the trip. 1,400 is probably more its go. I just don't know if it's got the acceleration of a couple of these other horses.
It's a
No
bit of
ping.
a wild card. Its form says no, but it's sort of had things against it both starts, hasn't it? It's just one blinkers, sense of timing, but it's just there's not too many
Tim's
horses
horse
that can
can win it.
improve. Well, I don't know if it can. I just don't think it's fast enough. It's just
Royal Entrance.
I just don't think it's like literally fast enough. That race last week was terrible.
The backup's been proven to work.
It's a tough horse. It'll be on speed, but it'll need those people to come out and go, oh, there's 7 leaders. We're going to grab hold, which just doesn't happen in a Golden Slipper or a bloody Magic Millions. It just doesn't happen. They just race for too much money. And I don't think Miss Cooter's fast enough to get within 6 of them, but if they want to put their handlebars down, it'll be gone at the 600 as well. And it'll probably take a few with it.
All right, so Tommy, please in the stream just have $4 each way on
No, don't. Please.
on Platinum Jubilee.
Please don't.
For Walt.
Don't.
This is Tommy's segment, and you've just taken over the show.
It's my segment for the week. I'm not even on the show. I got some bloke there that's got some bloody pineapple red-headed friggin' thing, Twitter photo. If that's his Twitter photo, I'd hate to see him in real life. Like, I go incognito a bit with glasses and put my kids in there so I don't even look like anyone. But if that's his front and centre photo on Twitter for a redhead, he's got big balls of steel. Don't worry about that.
I said to Walt off air in a chat. I said, if Tommy comes on and tips this skirt of law and Golan's horse is 7 into 380, my head's just going to absolutely blow off. And I tell you what, if you and John McLeod have found his horse, skirt the law, and this is the only one trainer that can actually pull this off is Golan, and I will be in awe of Tony Golan if this horse starts with a 5 or less in front of it, and it absolutely pisses in skirt law. Because tell you what, all of a sudden you're saying, oh, it needs a run last start. Now it's off 42 days. And then, oh, no, we don't want to give it a gut buster. It just looks like they're all at sea with this horse. And they're like, oh, we wanted to run it, didn't get the draw. Yeah. It's just like, now it's just turned into a mess. And there's
5 horse fields. If it was 25-1, that draw, low gate, and that I'd be making it a winner. But it scares me just because of its price and whatever. But that's the difference of opinions in this lovely game.
If you guys get over the line, it's going to be one of the greatest betting coups, I think, for that horse to win. Amazing. It'll blow my head completely off in the stream, and you'll see it live. And I would have done my absolute kibe on the race, but all the people in the stream will have collected. So I'm usually wrong, and the McLeod boys are usually right. So that's why they're steering the ship and not me.
Too. Yeah. So it's between us. We're doubly wrong. Pretty standard.
Yeah. Gold Coast, DK hasn't got an opinion on the 2-year-olds at the Gold Coast at all, so I'm just going to brush him.
He nearly choked then. You hear that? He nearly choked.
He's like, why even mention my name? I'm not even coming. I want to get him on a, what do you call it, as emergency mercy flights. I want him on a flight tomorrow because I'm home alone Thursday through to Sunday. I want DK to stay at my house.
Well, I'll live here for Saturday, Sunday. If this horse gets beat, then I've got to have to duck and weave Rebecca. Don't worry about that. She's got no idea what's going on.
The Gold Coast race 8 is the 3-year-old Magic Million Guineas, and it's Yellow Brick $4, Russian Conquest $5, Hell I Am $9, Spiritualized $9.50, Tawana $11, Stroll $11, Soothsayer $14, Latika $14, Fashion Legend $20, King's Consort $20, blah blah blah. The rest. Few other knockout.
Is he back the Wizard of Oz here? Is this true that he's going to back the Wizard of Oz ridden by a bloody leprechaun? Is this it?
Yeah, so it was the King of the Mountain, this big pop-up race in Toowoomba last start, Yellow Brick. It's in the Tony and Madison Shears colours, and it's
Toowoomba night form. I love it.
Exactly. And it's sort of like just getting sooled along here and sort of just puts a gap on him, and sadly Nick Over breaks down after the line, which is awful. Been great to us, that horse, and real war horse up in Queensland. But here it is, just barnstorming up the front here, and Alpine Edge is running into second, and
last thrust.
Is this the form here? As Yellow Brick? I know it's going to be in the right spot, Tommy, and that's probably why you like it. Your handle on Twitter is at Maps of Brisbane.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really nice horse. It did it that night in the King of the Mountain. It was poorly weighted under set weights and penalties conditions of the race, and the money was there, and he broke the track record that night against the older horses. Definitely wasn't suited at 1,200 metres either. This has always been the grand final for him, the Magic Million Guineas. And in time, he's going to be probably a mile or even further. And I just don't see a lot of ability in this race. And I'd be surprised if a lot of these end up kind of open class horses over that 1,400 mile distance. The map here, Spiritualized probably crosses them from 16 and leads pretty easily. I think they'll try back it off mid-race to make sure he gets the 1,400 metres, but then the Spirit of Boom will kick in for it, and I think it'll get tied legs late. I think Fashion Legend and Soothsayer are in a lot of trouble from their wide gates, are either going to be caught wide or have to do a little bit of work early. And I think Yellow Brick probably lands the 1-1 in running. I just think he's going to be too strong late over 1,400 metres for a lot of these camels that are in behind him, as Walt should describe them as.
Yes, camels.
DK, horses off track records and those sort of fast clock runs, are you a buyer or a seller of backing them next start?
I'm a seller, but particularly horses early on in their careers and only in their first prep, or particularly in their first prep, I find they bust. And the market can, if they've shown the early speed, which the old Dr. Nick model and everything just can't see past, and they've just got to hammer them because they're going to be up the front and they're fast early. But I'm like horses. More conserving a bit of energy and finishing off and things like that, rather than the ones busting, particularly over the shorter distances. So no, that's me personally. But every case is different. But my modus operandi is to take on those things generally. Every situation is different, but if they're going out 10 lengths above and stuff like this, I reckon it's got to knock them around. It's got to empty them out, particularly in their first prep.
Well, it's your show, so what do you like here?
Why isn't Tijuana just better than them?
Well, I think a lot of people have seen the trial, and I think the trial was a little bit ho-hum, but
yeah, I think it's flawed.
I think that's the only negative I can find. It just trialled like a bit of a camel the other day at the Goldie, so they've given it a look at it.
Race, but I just look at even King's Consort and then the other two. The depth of the form just seems to be my biggest problem. I love the look of that horse that
Yellow Brick
that Tommy's found, just because he didn't look like that Toowoomba run was. It's not easy to sit outside the leader at Toowoomba. Didn't look like it handled the track at all. It's going to be super strong. Looks to me like a 2,000 metre horse, but it's a dodgy race for when it's for what's it worth? A couple of million. Pel-I-Am and Russian Conquest are probably both, Flemington, bloody Ramwick 1,200 metre horses for mine, both of them. So getting around here 1,400. Yeah. Latakia I thought was a good win the other day. I thought Bella Rouge was there to beat it, and it was really well set up from Sydney, but how strong is Bella Rouge form? Like it's and its first prep. There's just, it's a tough race, this one. So I agree with you. Something up on speed that's going to be strong is probably the good starting point, because the others have then got to, have luck in running and try and run them down, which is doesn't look easy in this race.
I thought Russian Conquest, I think, goes around this way a lot better. The northern way going.
It does. It's if he'd had the low draw here, it'd be really dangerous, because you could see it just sneaking, exposing late and going bang. Its run at Gosford was really good, and it does have James McDonald, but it's I'm not sure about it. I know it did was 1,200 the other day first up, and it was strong. It's run fourth over 1,400 coming from back, so it's probably not a big query on a fast track. It's just needs a good ride, and I'm assuming it's quite short. Is it? It'll be
$5.
Yeah,
it's because it's got J-Mac on it.
That's got to be like rock bottom. It can win for sure. It's got to be close to top pick, but it's no spoil.
King's Consort also tickled my fancy. I think I've backed that also a couple of times, and there's definitely something there. Turbo, can't wait to see you at my place. Can't wait to see what you're going to put on the menu too. You get the choice. You'll get the food delivered, and hopefully I can have a surprise guest on the couch, and hopefully it's DK. Hopefully he gets a permission slip and he comes up for a.
It's not going to be Carly Electric then.
It could be me pretending to be Carly Electric if Platinum Jubilee gets beat, or if it wins. Either way, I could be dressed up as her.
Well, he's got form. He's got cross-dressing form, I will say. But best of luck, Team MacBet. Make sure you get on board. The boys were absolutely on fire yesterday. And so winning form is good form, and they'll be hammer and tong into TopSport on Saturday. So the bank will close at 11. The cameras will go on at midday, and Walt will be in his party dress by 5 o'clock.
Do you see fake Walt put up a tweet? Yeah, flying, big, huge. You'd never do that 2 days out from the stream, mate. You'll learn. Good luck, Turbo.
We'll see. All right. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful stuff. So Tommy Turbo, they may as well just wear maroon jumpers, I think, on Saturday. I'll tell you, I will absolutely be doing my Khyber if both those horses win those two races. They look sickly short, but wow, they are smarter men than me. It's the Gold Coast circuit. I think the track will play great. It's been great, great weather.
I think you'll get speed on in a lot of these races that we didn't get last week. It was amazing. They got full control, some of those leaders, even the way the race was. So the track was, sorry. So it'll be interesting.
Okay, let's have a look at Rosehill. Just one for you. I'll keep it tight. And Colino's a favourite here, $3.20 for Waller and Dylan Gibbons with your blessing $4.40. Garrison $5. Espresso $5.50. Sacramone $6.50. And Dynamic Impact $13 and $15. Destination Tramontano is $16. Let's have a look at last start win of Colino, claiming 2 here. So it's 59.5 kilos he's got. And in the Star Thoroughbred colours. So just in behind them, peels to the outside and just goes bang.
Basically the same race as what it finds on Saturday. I think goes up half a kilo, loses senior and gets the junior burger rider. But I think the key to this horse, it was absolutely flying on wet tracks over distances that just, I think it doesn't run 1,400 to be fair, and they stretched it out to 1,800 last prep. I think this horse is a pretty good horse over sort of 1,200 to 1,400 absolute maximum. You see it gapped them strong through the line there first up, 21 days. While the second up is one of my great pet hates in life, but I don't mind this horse. Just 21 days, that extra week. It just the gate is the little sticky. I don't want it to be last around a fast Rosehill. I think if it sort of lobs 1 out, 2 back, 1 out, 1 back, which is certainly possible. It's not slow early, this horse. Just the edge off at second up is my little query. I just think it's too strong from, again, with your blessing there, it's sort of midweek to just Saturday horses, where I think this horse is, at worst a lower grade group horse, sort of listed group 3 horse over this sort of distance. And I like the claim. The Dildo Gibbons is riding really well, and can't see much downside for this horse. It just should be strong. And the only little query is if it's last and the track's really fast, that could be against us. But I think whatever it is, $3.350 is well and truly fair enough. I know we're going to rush through this. The other horse that looked at the last race, which I didn't give you, they've backed it already, unfortunately, but the Freedman horse, is it Snapped? Really
Snapped, yeah.
Dynamic winner up there. And I don't think you'll know as much. I don't think it came from last there, but drawn 1. I think it'll hold leaders back on Saturday. And I think there's only 2 hopes here, and the Waller horse that's what is it, number? Hang on, I do have 47 sheets in front of me.
Snapped, Cur Royale.
Cur Royale. I think it's the only danger, but just back in distance, it'll be up on speed, and back in trip, it'll be strong. I think it'll sort of get to the lead, and if Snap gets out, it'll blow its head off. But if it doesn't, I think M Cartwright up there just might not know Rosehill. If he gets lost on the fence, I think that's its only real danger. I think it's a pretty nice horse now.
Beautiful. So Rosehill 2, and that's Colino. So when Walt likes Rachel King or Chris Waller, and this is Chris Waller on this occasion.
That I fought the demons off.
Exactly. So it's taking all his inner strength to actually back this horse. So Colino's his best, and then race 10, number 3, Snapped, he likes, and then the danger is the 2 there, which is Cur Royale. So that's another Waller 1. So that's Rosehill. If you want more of his insights, make sure you head to racingwatch.com.au. You can either get in the Discord and go completely mad, or you can just have Telegram and have no head noise. So you've got 2 different options. So make sure you get racingwatch.com.au. It'll improve your punting out of sight. Donnie's best. Donnie's back. Let's hear from him.
Bet Doctor's back again, baby. Can't wait to be part of the team again in 2023. Let's start the year how we finished last year, strongly and backing plenty of winners. Magic Millions Day this weekend. I'm absolutely pumped. Can't wait to get out there. I've got a couple of morals out there. I'll give one away now. It comes up in race 4 at Gold Coast. Number 2, Scalapini. I love this horse, fresh over 1,200 metres. First up, last campaign, it got second, beaten a head or so in a Group 2 1,200-metre event at Eagle Farm. Maps perfectly, will bounce out, should sit 1-1. Will have a big positioning run advantage on its main rivals in ranges. I'm pretty keen to back Scalapini at around the $3 mark. At Ballina on Friday, it's Ballina Cup Day. Got a good thing there in race 2, number 4, Being Groovy. It comes out of a decent Eagle Farm maiden where it was wide the entire trip, around 1,000 metres. It's straight onto a turn on that track, so being wide there is a big disadvantage. There is not much here. The current favourite, or the other equal favourite, is an absolute walker. Walked home at Coffs Harbour. Will smoke it. I think it's a good thing. It was 250 or so. It's coming a little. Hopefully it gets back out again. So the 2 best bets this weekend are race 4 at Gold Coast, number 2, Scalapini, and Ballina Cup Day on Friday. Race 2, number 4, Bean Groovy. Good luck.
Beautiful. So Donnie playing with strengths there. Goldie, Scalapini, Ballina, Bean Groovy. Real short runners there. So Scalapini, I couldn't get it much short. I think that one might drift, but Bean Groovy is usually...
Is that a no-day horse, Scalapini?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Their horses, they look like unicorns just flooding down the straights the last... since the sales have kicked off, they've found a couple of lengths. That one yesterday, holy crap. There's a couple of them, actually. They look like they've got jet shoes on. So
I don't mind their roughie in that race. Contemptuous has got Craig Williams, I think.
I wouldn't be letting it go around a loser. If I'm backing a runner of theirs that's short in the market, I'd be making sure the other one went round a winner as well.
Who?
The stablemate.
Yeah, Contemptuous. Yeah, I thought it was a nice run first up. Have something on that.
That's an old pearl, isn't it? There, the stables that fire up sale time.
No, there's a few.
Mitch Friedman let that horse yesterday. He wants to go and put his hand up for a couple of Magic Millions and lets his good horse go yesterday, and it goes like a Learjet. Always helps getting people in the stable this time of year, I tell you.
Went really well yesterday, didn't it? Attrition.
I do think that it's smart, like the syndicated joints as much as anything. Just any horse they've got, they want to be winning around this time of year. It just makes sense.
First Light Racing, race 1 tonight, backing them well. Correct.
Find a way.
All right, let's have a look at some of the steamers. Flemington race 5, number 2, Forbidden City. This horse has won a couple on the trot, 2K at 320. I think the price is held, but it's shortened up a bit since they opened. Got some upside, that horse. And then 2 in the 3-year-old here. Race 8, number 14, Russian Conquest. 1,000 at $5, and then Gold Coast Race 8, number 1, Tijuana, 500 at $11. They're not my bets, but I don't think that's a bad way to play the race if you're going to take 2 to try and knock off the favourite. Beautiful stuff, DK. You got the cruise, next week? Are you going to be on next week's show before you go?
Oh, we're on again next week? Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I don't know.
Eh?
Yeah, we might be.
I thought we were off for Christmas.
I think we're off. This is just the Magic Millions special occasion one. But anyway,
if you guys want the week off, we can. But
I'll leave Friday. So I'll be if we're on, we're on.
Okay. Well, the calendar's just so chock-a-block, isn't it?
Platinum Jubilee gets beat, I'll be asking for a pay rise.
We'll see what happens. All right, we got to run, but make sure you jump on littlebirdie.tv, register for the stream, download the app. If you're at the races, you can follow it all via the app. You can watch a stream, you can put the headphones in, you can do whatever you want, but the app will get you through, and you just deposit with TopSport as well, and you can have $50 for a look at the tips, or if you want to have a bigger swing with the boys, up to $1,000. So big thanks to the guys at TopSport. Welcome the Comics Lounge. Hopefully we can get down there for a bit of a giggle. And Punting Form, make sure you check out their new skin. Can't believe we're in season 4, and we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks, guys.